the dark mystery behind the pumpkin that laughed at midnight. Imagine being alone in the forest and suddenly hearing laughter coming from nowhere. And what if that laughter came from a pumpkin? In the village of Hollow Creek, a legend terrified the residents. They said that on Halloween night, a pumpkin would appear and laugh exactly at midnight. Many tried to unravel the mystery, but they never returned to tell the story. Now, get ready to discover the truth. In 1987, 4 teenagers disappeared after playing near the old abandoned farm. Witnesses reported hearing screams followed by eerie laughter. The next morning, the only thing found was a rotting pumpkin with claw marks on its skin. No bodies, no trace of the youths. The case was closed, but one question remained: what happened that night? The answer was about to be revealed. To many, it was just a tale to scare children, but for Theo, a journalist obsessed with mysteries, it was a challenge. He found old records describing the phenomenon and decided to investigate. The more he read about the case, the stranger everything seemed. Was it a curse, an entity, or just a cruel prank? To uncover the truth, he had to go to the farm. And on that Halloween night, Theo went, unaware that it would be his last investigation. Hollow Creek was a place surrounded by fog and silence, where time seemed to have stopped. The farm stood isolated in the middle of a dry cornfield, with a barn on the verge of collapse and twisted trees like skeletal hands. Theo, armed with his camera and flashlight, walked toward the site, feeling an oppressive presence. The wind whistled like whispers, and the smell of damp, rotten earth filled the air. Each step echoed with something that seemed to be watching him. As he explored the barn, Theo found footprints on the ground. Small, childlike, but sunk deep into the dirt as if freshly made. In the middle of the field, a single carved pumpkin seemed to stare at him with a twisted grin. His heart raced as a muffled sound emerged, like low laughter, coming from inside it. His camera trembled in his hands. He whispered, "Is someone there?" The answer came as a whisper in the wind. "You took too long." His flashlight flickered and went out. The air grew dense, heavy. Silence was broken by quick footsteps around him. He turned, but no one was there. A rustling in the cornfield made him swallow hard. Through the camera lens, he saw shadows moving between the leaves. A chill ran down his spine as he felt a cold breath on his neck. When he looked back at the pumpkin, its grin had widened. The laughter returned, now louder, echoing through the night. Theo stumbled and fell near a hidden trapdoor in the ground. Upon opening it, he found an underground cellar filled with unlit candles and old photos of missing children. In the center, an altar with a large cracked pumpkin. Carved into the wall was a name: Elijah Thorne. He had been accused of witchcraft and killed by the village in 1893. But the legend said his soul never left. Before Theo could react, the cellar door slammed shut, trapping him in darkness. The air turned icy, and the candles lit themselves. The cracked pumpkin began to pulse, as if something was trying to escape from inside. Theo tried to scream, but his voice failed. The wood creaked, and footsteps echoed in the cellar. He lifted his camera and saw in the lens reflection a pale face, with hollow eyes and a sharp smile. "You finally came," the voice whispered before everything faded into a deathly silence. The cellar was consumed by a living darkness. The pumpkin exploded, releasing a grotesque shadow. Elijah Thorne's face emerged in the blackness, with pitch-black eyes and sharp teeth. "Now you are part of the story," he murmured. Theo tried to run, but an invisible force dragged him into the void. His camera fell to the ground, recording only one last sound, a rising, maddening laughter that made the walls tremble. The next morning, the farm was as it had always been: old, empty, haunted. The only thing left behind was Theo's camera, still recording. In the last frame, a pumpkin with a cruel smile could be seen. But there was something else. In the background of the image, Theo's silhouette, standing, facing away, looking at the lens. When investigators tried to play the video, something terrible happened. The footage ended with Theo slowly turning to the camera, revealing completely black eyes. What happened to Theo? Was he possessed? Did he disappear? Or is he lurking, waiting for the next victim? They say that if you listen closely on Halloween night, you might hear the pumpkin laughing, waiting for someone to continue its story. If you still have the courage, leave your theory in the comments and subscribe for more terrifying stories. But be careful. Perhaps Elijah Thorne is watching you now.
Have you ever experienced something supernatural, terrifying, or unexplainable? Your story can come to life and be told here. I want to hear your darkest, most chilling and mysterious tale. Leave everyone curious, shivering, and questioning what really happened. Share your scariest experiences and moments of pure terror. Join our dark community. This is the place for you. Subscribe to the channel now and share your horror story. Tag your bravest friends and send your story now. Fear is real. And I'm waiting for you.